Have you ever looked down at your legs and wondered why do they feel weaker than they used to? You haven't changed your lifestyle that much. You still walk, you still move, yet somehow your body doesn't respond the way it once did. I've seen this story countless times in my practice. Men and women in their 60s who think they're simply getting old. But what if I told you the real reason isn't age at all? It's something far more fixable. Every year, after 50, we lose up to 2% of our muscle mass. That means by 70, you could lose nearly half of the strength that once carried you. And that slow decline doesn't just make walking harder, it steals your balance, your energy, even your confidence. But here's the truth, most supplement companies don't want you to know you don't need powders or pills to stop it. Your body is wired to rebuild itself if you feed it right. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how simple natural foods found in any grocery store can help you reclaim your strength, stability, and vitality faster than you thought possible. Most of my patients start with the same belief that the secret to staying strong after 60 lives inside a shiny tub of protein powder. I used to think that way too until I started measuring results. Week after week, people told me they were drinking 2 shakes a day yet still losing strength. Their arms looked thinner, their legs felt heavier, and their stomachs always bloated. That's when I began to look deeper into what's really inside those powders. Nearly every commercial protein blend is ultra-processed at high heat, stripping away the natural enzymes and minerals that help your body actually use protein. What's left is an isolated compound, a lonely nutrient trying to do a job that requires an entire team. Think of it like sending a quarterback onto the field without his offensive line, he doesn't stand a chance. Studies from Purdue University and the Journal of Nutrition show that older adults absorb up to 30% less amino acids from processed isolates compared to whole food sources, and the additives, artificial sweeteners, gums, synthetic vitamins, all designed to taste like dessert, not to build real muscle. Many of these chemicals irritate the gut lining, and when the gut is inflamed, your muscles pay the price. That's because digestion is the front door to strength. If the door is jammed, nothing gets inside. I remember one gentleman in his late 60s who swore by his vanilla powder. He was frustrated that his legs still felt weak. When we replaced his shakes with actual foods, real dairy beans and fish, his strength tests improved within weeks. His comment still sticks with me, Doc. I didn't need more powder. I needed real food. That's the point. Nobody selling supplements will tell you. Muscle loss after 60 isn't about a lack of product. It's about a lack of natural synergy. Your body doesn't recognize lab formulas. It recognizes food. Real textured living food that contains not just protein, but the cofactors that unlock it. Now here's where it gets exciting. You don't have to give up convenience or taste to get those benefits. There are everyday foods probably sitting in your fridge right now that protect muscle faster than any powder ever could. In fact, one of them can start reversing muscle loss within 30 minutes of eating it. So let's peel back the curtain and look at the first of these forgotten muscle foods, the one that's been quietly outperforming every supplement on the shelf for decades. It's creamy, it's comforting, and it works faster than any shake. Yet most people walk past it every time they shop, ready to find out what it is. When I first discovered what ricotta could do for aging muscles, even I was skeptical. I mean, cheese. Most people think of it as comfort food, not as a medical tool. But science doesn't lie. Ricotta is quietly one of the most efficient muscle-building foods on earth, especially for people over 60. Here's why. Ricotta is made from the liquid whey left after milk is turned into other cheeses. That might sound simple, but in that leftover whey lives an incredible protein matrix, the same type of natural whey that supplement companies are trying and failing to copy. Unlike the processed isolates found in powders, ricotta's whey remains in its original biological form. That means the amino acids, fats and minerals are still connected in the way nature intended, so your body can actually recognize and use them. A single cup of ricotta gives you about 28 grams of protein and close to 3 grams of leucine, the spark plug amino acid that turns on muscle growth. The moment leucine hits your bloodstream, your muscle cells get the signal to stop breaking down and start rebuilding. Studies from the University of Illinois have shown that leucine-rich dairy can stimulate muscle protein synthesis within just 30 minutes. That's faster than any shake you could mix. And it's not just about protein. Ricotta contains albumin, the same highly efficient protein found in egg whites, but in a gentler, easier to digest form. Older adults often struggle with digestion, and that's where ricotta shines. It's soft, mild, and naturally low in lactose. No bloating, no discomfort, just nourishment. There's also calcium lactate, a form of calcium your body absorbs faster than what's in most supplements. That calcium doesn't just strengthen bones, it helps your muscles contract smoothly. Without enough calcium, you can't generate the power you need to walk, climb stairs, or even balance. I often tell my patients imagine ricotta as your muscles' morning signal. When you eat it, your body hears it's time to rebuild. And unlike powders, ricotta feels like real food. You can spoon it onto whole grain toast with a drizzle of honey and cinnamon, mix it with berries, or use it in savoury dishes, like replacing heavy cream in soups or spreads. Each bite gives you that warm, satisfying sense of comfort, while feeding your strength from the inside out. There was a patient of mine, Margaret, who had been struggling with weakness in her thighs. She started adding a small bowl of ricotta with berries every morning. Within 6 weeks, she told me I can stand up from my chair without using my hands again. That's not magic. It's biology working the way it's meant to. Ricotta proves one simple truth: the more your food looks like food, the better your body uses it. You don't need fancy packaging or slogans, just real ingredients that work with your biology, not against it. But muscles don't just need protein, they need circulation too. And surprisingly, the next muscle-saving food has almost no protein at all, yet it can flood your muscles with oxygen and nutrients faster than anything else on your plate. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could something as sweet and simple as watermelon have anything to do with building muscle? When I first read the data, I had the same reaction, but it turns out this bright red fruit might be one of the most underrated recovery tools you could eat. See, most people assume that muscle strength depends only on protein, but your muscles aren't made of protein alone. They're living tissue that breathes, needs oxygen, and clears waste. That's where circulation comes in. Without proper blood flow, your muscles are like an engine running out of fuel. And watermelon, it's nature's circulatory tune-up. The secret lies in an amino acid called citrulline. Watermelon is the richest natural source on the planet. Once you eat it, your body converts citrulline into arginine, and arginine becomes nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes your blood vessels, allowing oxygen and nutrients to surge into your muscle fibers. Think of it as widening the highway so traffic can finally move. Research from Texas A&M University found that drinking 2 cups of fresh watermelon juice boosted nitric oxide levels by 20% within an hour. That's enough to improve muscle oxygenation and reduce soreness after activity by nearly half. I've seen it firsthand in older adults who used to complain that their legs felt heavy after short walks. Within days of adding a few slices of watermelon after breakfast, their steps became lighter, steadier, more confident. And here's another overlooked benefit. Watermelon carries more potassium per wedge than a banana, making it one of the best natural ways to prevent cramps and twitching. That's critical for seniors, whose electrolyte balance often dips with age or medications. When potassium levels drop, your nerves misfire and muscles seize up. A few juicy slices can restore that balance faster than any sports drink, and without all the sugar and dyes. But watermelon's power doesn't stop there. Its vibrant red colour comes from lycopene, a potent antioxidant that shields your muscle cells from oxidative stress, the very process that speeds up aging and muscle loss. Lycopene works like sunscreen for your cells, protecting them from daily wear and tear. I like to tell my patients watermelon is summer's secret therapy. Whether you eat it fresh, blend it into a chilled juice, or even include a bit of the white rind, where citrulline is highest, you're feeding your circulation and your recovery at the same time. And remember, it's not just for hot days. You can enjoy it year-round. Just look for pre-cut packs or frozen cubes at your local grocery store. I keep a container in my fridge and eat a few pieces after my morning walk. It's sweet, refreshing, and my muscles feel alive afterward. But circulation isn't everything. You still need high-quality fuel to rebuild those fibers. And the next food on this list might surprise you, because it doesn't come from a fancy restaurant. In fact, it comes straight from a can, and it's stronger for your muscles than most fresh fillets you'll ever buy. I'll admit, when I first started recommending canned salmon, a few of my patients looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Doc, they'd say you want me to eat fish out of a can, but after they tried it and felt the results, the skepticism vanished. Because canned salmon, especially wild-caught pink or sockeye, is one of the most complete and underrated muscle foods you can buy in America. Let me explain why it works so well. A single 5-ounce can delivers about 25 grams of complete protein. That's more than most shakes, but what makes it truly special are the omega-3 fatty acids inside. These healthy fats called EPA and DHA act like a key turning the lock of your muscle cells. They make those cells more sensitive to protein, meaning your body can build more muscle with less food. It's not about eating more, it's about using what you already eat more efficiently. The Journal of the American Geriatric Society published a study showing that older adults who consumed omega-3 rich fish at least twice per week preserved 30% more muscle over a 3-year period than those who didn't. That's a powerful statistic, and it reflects what I see every day in practice. When my patients add fish like salmon to their diet, their energy improves, their recovery speeds up, and their balance becomes steadier. But canned salmon brings even more to the table, literally. Those soft edible bones inside the can. They're loaded with natural calcium and phosphorus, 2 minerals that work together to power muscle contractions and keep bones resilient. Unlike tablets, this calcium is food grade. Your body recognizes it instantly and absorbs it with ease. And here's something few people realize. Canned salmon is one of the best natural sources of vitamin D3, the same form your skin produces from sunlight. Vitamin D doesn't just strengthen bones, it helps your muscles activate. Without it, your nerves struggle to communicate, and your legs may feel sluggish or shaky. Combine that with salmon's astaxanthin, the reddish antioxidant that gives it its pink colour, and you've got a full spectrum repair kit for your muscles and joints. The best part, it's practical. You don't need to cook clean or spend $20 at a seafood counter. Just pop the can, mash it with a little avocado, lemon and black pepper, and spread it on whole grain toast. Or mix it into a salad with greens and olive oil. It's quick, inexpensive, and packed with everything aging muscles crave. I had a patient, Robert, 71, who replaced his protein shakes with canned salmon 3 days a week. In 6 weeks, his leg strength increased by 15% on grip and squat tests. He told me, "Doc, I don't feel frail anymore, I feel capable." That's what real food can do. But protein and healthy fats are only half the equation. What if the secret to building strength wasn't just in what you eat, but when your body repairs itself, even while you sleep? The next food on the list works quietly through the night, feeding your muscles while you dream. When most people think about recovery, they picture exercise or stretching, not sleep. But here's what many don't realise. Muscle loss accelerates while you rest. During the night, your body breaks down protein for energy, and if there's nothing left in the tank, you wake up weaker than the day before. That's why one of my favourite prescriptions isn't a pill, it's a glass of kefir before bed. Kefir is a tangy fermented milk drink that's been around for centuries, but few Americans realise how powerful it can be for aging muscles. In my practice, it's a game changer, especially for men and women who wake up stiff or achy. The secret lies in its fermentation process. Kefir contains over 60 types of beneficial bacteria and yeasts, far more than yogurt, and these living cultures do more than calm your gut. They transform how your body uses protein. When your gut microbiome is balanced, your body produces short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and boost something called the gut-muscle axis, a direct communication line between your intestines and your muscle tissue. Researchers at Tufts University found that older adults with a healthy gut absorbed amino acids 20% more efficiently, leading to better muscle preservation and faster recovery. But kefir's magic doesn't stop there. It's rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that forms a gentle gel in your stomach. That gel releases amino acids gradually, for up to 7 hours, feeding your muscles all through the night. It's like setting up a slow-drip IV of recovery while you sleep. Compare that to a typical evening snack, a cookie or glass of wine that spikes insulin and leaves you depleted by morning. Kefir keeps your system steady, calm and anabolic. It's also loaded with natural vitamin K2 in its most active form, MK7. That vitamin helps shuttle calcium into your bones and muscles, not your arteries, preventing stiffness and supporting smooth movement. Add in the small peptides produced during fermentation, which lower blood pressure and enhance circulation, and you have one of the most holistic muscle foods on earth. For anyone lactose-sensitive, kefir is surprisingly gentle. The fermentation breaks down most of the lactose, making it easy to digest. I often suggest mixing half a cup of kefir with a spoonful of ground flaxseed for extra omega-3s, or blending it with frozen berries for antioxidants. It's cool, refreshing, and feels like dessert, but your body treats it like medicine. One of my favourite stories is from Linda, 69, who hadn't slept through the night in years. I asked her to replace her late-night snack with kefir for just 2 weeks. When she returned, her first words were, "I didn't know I could wake up feeling strong again." Her grip strength had improved and her morning fatigue had disappeared. That's not luck, that's biology aligning with rhythm. But your muscles also need daytime defenders, foods that fuel you during long hours of movement and stabilise your energy from breakfast to dinner. The next one might surprise you. It's not dairy or fruit, but a humble bean that trains your gut and muscles to work as a team. If kefir feeds your muscles while you sleep, black beans feed them while you live your day. I call them daytime defenders because they don't just supply protein, they train your body to use that protein better. Most people underestimate beans, thinking of them as side dishes or budget foods, but in reality, they're one of nature's most complete performance meals, especially for anyone over 60. A single cup of cooked black beans gives you around 18 grams of plant protein, but the real story lies deeper in the fibre. Black beans contain a special kind called resistant starch. Unlike normal carbohydrates, resistant starch doesn't break down in your small intestine. It travels to your colon, where it becomes fuel for the good bacteria living there. Those bacteria in turn produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, and one of them, butyrate, is pure gold for your muscles. Butyrate lowers inflammation and improves insulin sensitivity, which means your muscles absorb nutrients more efficiently and stay in an anabolic, growth-friendly state. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Physiology found that older adults who ate fibre-rich legumes 4 times a week had significantly better muscle density and fewer markers of inflammation than those who didn't. That's the hidden magic. Your gut health dictates your muscle health. And here's something fascinating. Black beans trigger what scientists call the second meal effect. After you eat them, your blood sugar remains steadier for the next meal as well, so if you have beans at lunch, your body processes dinner more smoothly. That steady energy prevents the highs and crashes that quietly damage muscle tissue over time. Black beans also deliver folate, a B vitamin essential for creating new cells and repairing muscle fibers. 1 cup provides over half your daily requirement. Combine that with their high magnesium content, around 120 milligrams per cup, and you've got the perfect nutrient duo for contraction, relaxation and recovery. Without magnesium, your muscles literally can't communicate with your nerves. That's why so many people feel twitching tightness or nighttime cramps. It's not always age, it's depletion. And let's not forget the antioxidants. Those dark skins get their colour from anthocyanins, the same anti-aging compounds found in blueberries. They act like microscopic shields, protecting your muscle cells from oxidative stress and helping them recover faster after even light activity. In my kitchen, I like to keep a batch of cooked black beans ready in the fridge. I toss them into salads with olive oil and lemon, or warm them with garlic and cumin for lunch. Simple, earthy, deeply satisfying, and incredibly effective. One of my patients, Carla 73, told me she stopped needing her afternoon nap once she started eating half a cup of black beans daily. "I feel like my energy doesn't fall off a cliff anymore," she said. That's the stabilizing effect of real food. But while beans protect your strength during the day, your muscles still need a powerful ignition switch, something that boosts blood flow, fights fatigue, and literally turns your strength back on. That ignition happens to be a root vegetable, deep red, earthy and stronger than most pre-workout supplements. When I mention beets to my patients, I usually get one of two reactions: a polite smile or a face that says, "You mean that purple thing that stains everything it touches?" But once they learn what it does inside their body, they never look at beets the same way again. Beets are nature's endurance engine. They don't just colour your plate, they colour your bloodstream with oxygen. Every time you eat them, you're fueling one of the most overlooked systems in your body, your nitric oxide pathway. Nitric oxide is the molecule that keeps your blood vessels open, smooth and flexible. It's what allows your heart to deliver oxygen-rich blood to your muscles with every beat. Here's the incredible part. Beets contain natural nitrates that your body converts directly into nitric oxide. Within about an hour of eating them, your blood flow improves measurably. A 2023 study from the University of Exeter showed that adults over 60 who drank beet juice before walking improved their endurance by 16% and felt less muscle fatigue afterward. It's like giving your circulation a tune-up, without the caffeine, without the crash. And it's not just the nitrates. Beets are loaded with compounds called betalains, which give them that deep crimson hue. Betalains are potent anti-inflammatories that help your muscle cells recover after activity. When combined with beets' steady natural sugars, they provide a slow, consistent source of energy. No spike, no slump, just sustained stamina. Another hidden superpower. Beets help your body produce creatine naturally. You've probably heard of creatine as a sports supplement, but few people realize our bodies can make it too, if we have the right raw materials. Beets supply betaine, a nutrient that supports that production process, helping your muscles store and release quick bursts of power when you need them most. One of my favourite ways to explain it is this: when your circulation slows down with age, it's like trying to water a garden with a kinked hose. Beets unkink that hose. They let nutrients, oxygen and energy flow freely again, so every muscle fibre gets the fuel it's been missing. That's why I recommend my patients roast them, blend them into smoothies, or even sip beet juice before their walks. Just half a cup can make a real difference in how long you can move before you get tired. And for those worried about the taste, pair them with citrus or a drizzle of olive oil. The natural sweetness comes alive and your body will thank you later. I still remember one of my patients, Henry, 68, who started drinking beet juice 3 times a week. He told me, "Doc, I'm walking farther now and my legs don't burn like they used to." That's nitric oxide in action. But your muscle story doesn't end there. Because strength isn't just about power, it's about synergy. The next food ties it all together, combining healthy fats, minerals, and one of nature's rarest antioxidants to give your muscles lasting protection from the inside out. Every time I talk about sardines, people either light up or recoil. Some remember their grandparents eating them on crackers. Others say, "No way, Doc. The smell." But what if I told you that those little fish could be one of the most powerful tools you have to reverse muscle loss? After 60, I'm not exaggerating. Nutritionally, sardines are a powerhouse wrapped in a tin. One small can, about 3.75 ounces, delivers roughly 23 grams of high-quality protein, along with every essential amino acid your body needs for rebuilding. But protein is only the beginning. Sardines pack a trio of nutrients that together form one of the most potent muscle-preserving combinations in nature: vitamin D, omega-3, fatty acids, and CoQ10. Let's start with vitamin D. Most older adults in the US are deficient, especially during the winter months. Low vitamin D doesn't just affect your bones, it weakens your muscles, slows reaction time and reduces balance. Sardines provide nearly 70% of your daily vitamin D in a single serving. It's like sunshine in a can. Next come the omega-3s, EPA and DHA, the same healthy fats we discussed with salmon, but even more concentrated. These fats calm inflammation inside muscle tissue and make your muscle cells more sensitive to the grow and repair signals triggered by protein and exercise. When omega-3 levels are high, every gram of protein you eat works harder for you. Think of it as upgrading from a flip phone to a smartphone, the same core but infinitely more effective. Now here's what truly sets sardines apart: coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10. This powerful antioxidant fuels your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your muscle cells. As we age, CoQ10 levels drop, leaving us more fatigued and less efficient. Sardines naturally restore those reserves, boosting energy and endurance from within. That's why many of my patients who add sardines to their weekly meals report feeling stronger and more awake. And let's not forget the olive oil. When sardines are packed in extra virgin olive oil, you get another layer of anti-inflammatory protection. Olive oil's polyphenols help keep blood vessels elastic and reduce oxidative stress. Together, the fish and the oil create a perfect synergy protein for rebuilding fats, for recovery antioxidants, for protection. Even the tiny soft bones inside the can have value. They're rich in natural calcium and phosphorus minerals essential for muscle contraction and bone strength. Unlike chalky supplements, this calcium is bioavailable. It's part of a living food your body recognizes instantly. Preparing sardines is simple. Mash them with avocado and lemon for a quick toast spread, toss them into a salad with arugula and tomatoes, or just eat them straight from the can with a squeeze of lime. They're portable, inexpensive and shelf stable. For less than $2 you can buy a meal that rivals a multivitamin in strength and efficiency. I once worked with a retired firefighter, age 70, who'd been losing muscle despite eating clean. I suggested 3 cans of sardines per week. Within a month he said, "Doc, I feel like my engine's running smoother again." That's what happens when you give your body the raw materials it's been missing. So now you've seen the full picture: foods that rebuild, circulate, repair and protect. But knowing isn't enough. The real transformation happens when you bring them together into a rhythm, a daily routine that makes strength effortless again. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that your body still remembers how to be strong. Age doesn't erase, that it just needs the right signal, the right nourishment, and a bit of consistency. You don't have to chase expensive supplements or complicated routines. The answers are already in your kitchen: real food, real nutrients, real results. Remember, every meal is a message to your muscles. Choose foods that speak life. Ricotta for quick repair, watermelon for circulation, salmon and sardines for deep recovery, kefir for nightly renewal, beans for balance and beets for stamina. These aren't just groceries, they're medicine for your independence. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s regain strength they thought was gone forever. You can too. It starts with one change, one meal, one decision today. If this video opened your eyes, give it a thumbs up. It truly helps the channel reach others who need it. Save it for later. Share it with a friend who's working to stay strong, and don't forget to subscribe with the bell turned on so you never miss new health insights each week. Now tell me in the comments, which of these foods will you try first?